The Film Shitters Podcast. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the next episode of the Film Shitters official podcast. This is our third episode. This week will be just me hosting the episode, another solo episode. And next week we are most likely gonna have my boy Alex returning, but for now you'll just have to endure this. That was intentional. I chose to do this episode by myself because now we have a lot to talk about. It's been a hot minute since our last episode. I believe that was a few weeks ago, maybe even a month. Maybe not a month, but a good hot minute. So I thought it'd be important to check in with you guys, audience, and just talk about stuff. We do have a lot to discuss. But here's the weird thing, is that I haven't watched a lot of movies since our last podcast episode. I've been meaning to, but things happen, and so we're going to talk about that. Alright, so I just had to double check what I did in fact watch, just so we can sort of go down the rabbit hole together. Let's talk about the first thing, which is that I finished watching Twin Peaks. The Return, Twin Peaks: The Return. If you've been watching the last two episodes, then you would have heard me talk about the show in both. And it's been something I've been slowly watching. I did like an episode or so every day for a while, and I finally finished it. And yeah, it's a masterpiece, to put it lightly. It's beautiful, super weird. Very unorthodox, very strange, very peculiar. At times, it looks a little campy, to put it lightly. Some of the effects look a little strange. It looks almost low budget, but I wouldn't even say that The Return is low budget, because at times it looks completely beautiful, like shot so well and with amazing visual effects. It's so unpredictable at times on how the episode will look, but I felt as though it was definitely very good. Even outside of visuals, the writing was amazing, super weird, very painful, almost torturing the audience in a way, but it still felt very, very human, very compassionate, and it reminded me a lot of the original, but also not a continuation of the original show. It felt like its own unique identity, but with sort of this meta commentary as a reboot, and I really enjoyed it. In the moment, I was so just flabbergasted, because I wasn't expecting that kind of show, not from Twin Peaks. Twin Peaks, there's a sort of formula, this rhythm to all the weirdness in it, while The Return is just loosey-goosey, total freedom, and anything they want to do, anything David Lynch wanted to do. And man, you can just tell, all right? It feels like just a compilation of different short films and ideas, all just wrapped into one hodgepodge, and it came out so well done. And I've seen countless videos of theories and plot synopsis and analysis, and maybe, is it just a complete meta commentary on reboots, on America, or is it just about this fucking demons in this little Washington town? So, I still don't have a clear answer onto what Twin Peaks actually is, and even describing it is hard for me to do, besides just talking about how it makes me feel, because plot-wise, it goes everywhere, it does everything, anything you can imagine it will do. It's funny, it's depressing, it's strange, it's annoying, it's boring at times, but it all feels intentional, good or bad, and I think I will rewatch the show soon. I've been considering rewatching the original 2 seasons again, or at least just the pilot, because I think with the context of where the show would go afterwards in the finale, I think it changes the original series as a whole and what it really meant to an extent, because the original still has its own sort of its own identity, but with it it's strange. It feels like there's sort of an arc, like the show itself has a character arc, and it matures with the audience, and it ages with the audience, and I think that's beautiful. But I do want to go back on something I just said earlier, which is that the ending for the show, for the reboot, mind you, is perfect. It's haunting, it's chilling. It may really, really bother some people, and I could see that ending ruining the show for a lot of people, but I also think that it's the perfect way to end such a strange mystery show that was never about giving clear answers. And I think that it was really the only solution. I won't go I'm not going to go into spoilers at all, but I will say that that there were going to be plans for a possible season 2 of the reboot, or I guess you could say season 4 of Twin Peaks, with Lynch and Frost, David Lynch and Mark Frost, working on it together. And there were some ideas sort of explored in the books, and possibly of what it could have or could have not been. But either way, I still think that it's perfect where it left off. And of course, I would have loved to see Lynch explore the world of Twin Peaks even more, but unfortunately that's just not possible anymore since it's passing. And of course there was also revealed by Jennifer Lynch's daughter that there were going to be these huge plans for another show he was working on with Kyle MacLachlan and Laura Dern. And I think that would have been amazing to see. We still might see a version of it. I believe there were talks to maybe get the script publicized, but I don't think that will happen, unfortunately. And even if it does, we're never going to see Lynch's true vision of the project and what that could have been, which is a real shame, because I am a huge Lynch fan, and I've seen practically everything he's ever made, to some extent. I need to listen to some of his music, because he was also a musician, which I really admire, because he was a Renaissance man, really. He did everything. Super, super talented, super creative. Just such a weird, funny little man. And I love him very much. I do. I don't think I have that real connection to an artist as much as I do with Lynch. So, finishing one of his biggest projects he ever made was a super emotional moment to me. Very compelling. But I don't know. I really don't. I just, it's sort of still processing that, of like, where do I go from here? There's still a ton of short films he made that I haven't seen yet, but, I'll never capture that same feeling as Twin Peaks or Eraserhead or Blue Velvet or Lost Highway or The Elephant Man or The Straight Story. It's just, they're beautiful, just like projects that show the beauty of humanity throughout all the darkness, which I think is the key aspect of appreciating Lynch, was his immense optimism throughout all the depressing aspects of reality. But I don't know. That's all I can really say about Lynch, is that I don't really know about anything, and I think that's okay. I do, truly. But yeah, after I watched the show, I didn't rewatch the pilot, but I did watch Firewalk with Me, and Firewalk with Me is my favorite film of all time, and so revisiting it was a journey, really. It's on my first watch, it was a haunting experience. It was so powerful, it was so depressing, it was so miserable, but this time it's still all of those things, of course, but in the end, I was more comfortable with it. I was able to process it more, really, really compose myself more, and see sort of the beauty underneath all of it, all the darkness, of course, if we go back to full circle. But yeah, no, you really see, like, it's a tragedy. It's Lynch's tragedy. But there's so much that you can get out of it, really. And so much that just makes you, like, empathize with not just Laura Palmer as a character, but maybe woman as a whole, maybe just the planet as a whole, and all of the terrible tragedies that happen, even though we may be completely blind to it. But it was a great experience. I love the ending. I understand it a lot more than I originally did. I love the pacing of it. I love the fact that the first half an hour is practically a completely different movie than the actual like other hour and a half. It's so good. I need to watch The Missing Pieces, which if you're not familiar with, The Missing Pieces is it's actually it's like an hour and a half of deleted footage, I believe. So you can watch it on the Criterion Blu-ray, I believe, or the recent 4K that came out. And what some people have done online is they've actually made a complete edit of putting all the deleted scenes in where they may or may not have been placed for the original final cut. Which is super interesting. I think that basically makes the movie almost 4 hours. It might be 4 hours, actually. And I think that's really cool. I would love to do it sometime, because I watch a lot of long movies. I've seen Seven Samurai. I could do it. I could watch 4 hours of David Lynch. That's no big deal at all. But let's see. What else did we talk about? Well, there's a lot we could talk about now. I also started watching a bit more Wes Anderson, because, of course, The Phoenician Scheme recently came out. I haven't seen it yet. I would love to see it. I just haven't had the opportunity. But I really appreciate him as an artist, not as much as Lynch. I do believe that Anderson is a tad overrated, but he's still immensely talented, and he has a very clear style. He's extremely stylized, perhaps even more stylized than David Lynch himself, which is a huge compliment for me. But no, I think it's super interesting. Let me pull up the exact list of what I actually saw from him. So, according to Letterboxd, I saw the Darjeeling Limited. That was a super interesting project, because it felt very slice of life, kind of, in a way. There were no real stakes to it. It's just these three brothers just trying to, enjoy life to the fullest extent after, their father's passing and their troubles with their mother, and how all three brothers are handling their sort of grief and trauma differently, and how they cope with that, and how they their relationship with each other, and the sort of conflicts in between, and how they learn to accept and love each other once again, which they weren't able to do so long ago. And I think that's very compelling. Owen Wilson plays kind of an asshole, a very charming asshole, though. Adrian Brody plays just a normal straight man, but in real life, Adrian Brody's a weirdo, so I guess it makes sense. And then Jason Schwartzman was just like a little dork, and I think that's pretty cool, all right? I think we need more dorky Jason Schwartzman in movies, really. And then what did I watch after? I watched Royal Tenenbaums, which I thought was substantially better than Darjeeling. It's one of Anderson's best films, in my opinion. Of course, the late Gene Hackman's performance is marvelous. It's fucking conniving and evil and annoying, but it works. And if you know anything about Hackman's sort of reluctance on set with working with Anderson, and kind of his overall hatred of the original project, you see just kind of Anderson's vision and his true kind of hindsight that Hackman's sort of negative personality really matches with Royal Tenenbaum. But even as a whole, I feel like everyone gives a great performance. I think Gwyneth Paltrow, who I'm not even the biggest fan of as an actress, I think she does a great job in the film. And then I think Ben Stiller, probably third. He's really good. Strange comic relief character in a way, but also it's played rather straight, I guess. Well, kinda. It's a little extreme, but he's pretty one note as a character, or at least you think he is. But I think there's a lot to understand with his concepts of death and everything, and how that the death of his wife and his paranoia, and then obviously the thing that happens at the end was super. It went full circle again. You really see but how he's changed and how he's learned to sort of recover from all of that, which I think is beautiful. But yeah, no, I think that it's a great film about family, about humanity, about forgiveness, if we can forgive, and trying to sort of repair all our broken relationships, which is just an overall trend with Anderson, I think. And I think that is just super, super beautiful. And I believe that Anderson was a philosophy major, and I completely understand that, because all of his films just leave me with such a profound impact that I never fully process until far later on. But I think on rewatch I will enjoy all these films just much, much more. But until then, I just sort of I leave with this strange feeling every time of not fully understanding, but appreciating at the very least. And then I watched two more. I watched Rushmore, which is maybe my favorite live action Anderson film, because I think Fantastic Mr. Fox is probably his best project, but Rushmore is his best live action, which is funny because it's his second feature film, I believe, right after Bottle Rocket. And you can kind of see that Anderson hasn't gotten his full style yet, but he's learning to sort of play around with stuff, be a little weird. But I feel like the main highlight of Rushmore is just how good the writing is. I love a lot of teenage coming-of-age films, such as Napoleon Dynamite or Lady Bird. Both of them are some of my favorite films ever, and I believe Rushmore is kind of like that perfect pair you could add, or the perfect addition for this teenage weirdo coming-of-age trilogy. That's what I'll call it. Because I believe all three are very similar, all have very similar protagonists, all very similar conflicts or whatever. But Rushmore is strange because it feels a little cynical at times. I wonder if it's almost a self-deprecation at times of if Jason Schwartzman's character is sort of a interpretation of Anderson himself, even though I also know that Wes Anderson likes to use Bill Murray as his typical stand-in, which is funny, because he is also in Rushmore, as an older gentleman. He's this wealthy business owner or whatever, and he's competing with this kid for a fucking British woman, I believe, something like that. It's a very simple plot, but it just goes nowhere you would expect it to go. It's very silly and not very realistic, but it doesn't need to be realistic because it's not trying to be. But it's so good. I love Jason Schwartzman. He plays a great loser in Rushmore, just as he kind of does in everything. But he does it so well. But yeah, the writing's sharp, super funny. I think my favorite quote is when Jason Schwartzman's character is talking to Bill Murray's, and he's like, "I say Latin. What have you done?" And it's pouring outside, and it's so he cares so much about fucking Latin class. All right, he's a complete narcissistic prick, but it works perfectly. I'm not doing it complete justice, but honestly, give it a watch. I believe most of Anderson's films are on Hulu, besides a couple which are on Peacock. So there's your plug-in here. Not sponsored, but if I was sponsored, I would love to be. And then what else? I've also watched a lot of bad movies, a lot of stinky movies too. I watched a Minecraft movie again. Well, I didn't want to watch it, but it was on at my house, so I just kind of watched it from a distance, and man, that movie is fucking atrocious. Not because it's completely terrible or anything, although it is. The main flaw of it is that it's just boring and forgettable and cheesy and lame and predictable and sterile, fucking corporate. I hate it. It's disgusting, and not just because it's a kids movie, because I believe kids movies can be mature, and you can make a compelling story even if it's targeted toward children, and I believe that children should be allowed to have good art and other just kind of entertainment as a whole to help with their growth and development, instead of just this slop about selling all your fucking toys, your Happy Meals, whatever. You want your fucking Jack Black Steve Happy Meal. I think that's utterly ridiculous, but sorry, I got a little winded there. But no, I think that movie is just kind of the flaws of cinema as a whole, and it might have kind of given me this sort of hatred of cinema right now, and I think that's partially one of the reasons why I haven't been able to make any good real haven't been able to watch any real content, but I'll get to the other thing later. But yeah, no, I just feel like we're in such a fucking purgatory right now. This slow, endless, boring cycle, this monotonous cycle where we just have to watch stupid things that are popular just because of fucking nostalgia or fucking social media, or a combination of both. And I think that's no way to make art, no way to consume art, really. I just think that we live in a crazy time right now, and I wish things were better. But besides that, I also watched the Emoji Movie again. Probably worse. No, it is worse than the Minecraft movie. It's no one needs a movie about emojis. Kids don't give a shit about a film about emojis. All right. I don't understand the target audience of it because you would assume it's like preteens, young teenagers or something, but they don't give a shit about fucking emojis. They're not gonna watch a kids movie about emojis. They're gonna watch fucking Drive or something. I don't know. It's ridiculous, I think, but it's just boring and soulless, as I said with the Minecraft movie, or a Minecraft movie. Fucking sorry, but I wish things could be creative all the time. K-pop Demon Hunters or whatever. I'm not the biggest fan of the film from everything that I've seen. I've seen a good chunk of it. I didn't finish it though. It's not terrible, but it's creative, and I think that's still important, even if I didn't personally care for it. Spider-Verse, so I love it's popular. Everyone loves it. And I think we need more stuff like Spider-Verse, personally. Not just the style, but the quality itself. And the artistic merit, I believe, is the most important aspect of it. But what do I know? Which I don't know much. I really don't. But, and then I've seen some other stuff. I recently saw Sinners, which was a very good movie. I did enjoy it. I wish I saw it in theaters. I never got the opportunity. I waited for it to come to Max, which is insane. But I finally bit the bullet, and it was really good. I really did appreciate it. It was it was beautiful because I love culture, and I love, not only black culture, but just music as a culture. Or I love hip hop. I love rock. I love metal. I love jazz. I love classical. I really do appreciate. I try to appreciate everything in some aspect, and I believe that the film does so as well. And I think it really does show the power of music on all our lives and our souls. And there's some great commentary there. Not just about how white people kind of took black culture for themselves and exploited so many poor black entertainers and black artists just so they could profit off of it and appreciate everything while not appreciating the race, which is super compelling to me. But I think just also sort of that commentary on like theology and religion, how like Christianity is kind of just a hodgepodge of every culture, and then by extension it's not really a part of any culture at all. It's just its own separate entity between culture and religion, which is not an inherently bad thing, but it could be problematic depending on your personality. And I think that that's very nuanced for a huge blockbuster film. But hey, Ryan Coogler's Blank Check, he fucking killed it, honestly. I watched another Blank Check film recently too. I watched Mickey 17, which I liked the ideas there. I like some of the concepts. It's a good movie. I won't even say it's bad. I did like it. I liked it a bit, but I feel like it was too surface level with his political commentary, and I didn't really understand what it was going for. What it was going for between sort of like life and death, and the importance of life, and being allowed to live, and the fear of death. Besides just acknowledging that, dying is, scary, which is a shocker, right? But, no, I think that maybe I might enjoy it more, but I'm not too crazy about going back to it. I do like Parasite, though, and I need to watch Bong Joon-ho's entire filmography sometime, or at least a good chunk of his filmography, because there's a lot of I've seen that my friends have talked about, and I do want to give him another chance, because I believe that he is very smart, very talented, and I don't think Parasite is the greatest film in the entire world, but it doesn't need to be. But I'm fine with it, with people saying it's like the best movie ever, right? I won't argue with it. I won't fight it. I just don't agree. I don't think maybe there is the greatest film ever. I don't think we should see art like that. I don't like when we're objective about art, because art is all about our own personal experiences and interactions with it. It's not just, oh, this was made by so-and-so, and did you know that blah, blah, blah was in this? And oh, look, Jimbo Plupa was in this film. Can you believe that, Jimbo Plupa? And it's like, fuck Jimbo Plupa. I don't give a shit if Jimbo Plupa's in this, alright? If fucking Tom Cruise is fucking Tom Hanks, if my if I don't know, if my fucking asshole was in a film, I don't care. All right, I care about if the film was good or not. I care about if the film left an impact on me. I care if the film left if the film made me emotional. All right, that's what I care about. If the film has a lot of ideas and themes that I can process, or I can try to process at the very least, and leave with sort of a open mind, I guess, and just having the film just kind of float with me for a couple days. That impact, I think, is more important than anything. It's not about how much money the film made. It's not about the actors, the directors. Even though I do believe that auteur cinema is an important aspect of cinema, and one of my main beliefs with film is that the director is the real artist behind it, and their impact and their choices are the overall way you should look at art. Maybe is that it's more about the artist than the actual art itself. But I could also see someone saying otherwise, and that maybe we should judge things individually. Of course, separate art from the artist, but that's typically used to apply to artists who have done morally bad things. But does that apply to artists who have done morally good things? I don't know. If an artist does nothing but good all their life, but we choose to see art separate from that, is that also an incorrect viewing of it? I don't know. It's a weird perspective, but it's something that I do think about, because I believe that good or bad, it is the direct cause of good or bad art. A bad person can make good art. A good person can make bad art. But it's strange. Sometimes a bad person can make bad art. Sometimes a good person can make good art. There are no clear answers to life, I believe. This has been a strangely philosophical episode. I'm sorry about that. But let's see, what else is there? I've been watching a lot of television. Television sounds a little pretentious, doesn't it? But TV doesn't, so we'll stick to that. Yeah, I'm watching 2 shows right now. I am watching The X-Files, which has been great, obviously. I just talked about my love of Twin Peaks and everything, and my sort of admiration for it. And X-Files is sort of I wouldn't say it's a byproduct of Twin Peaks, but it's heavily influenced by it, even though they're 2 completely different kinds of shows. It's, what's the word for it? Twin Peaks is serialized, while X-Files is episodic, meaning that you can kind of just watch the episodes in practically any order for the most part when it comes to the X-Files, while Twin Peaks is a continuous story, right, from the first episode to the last. Not to say that the X-Files isn't, but it's less reliant on it. But I do like the X-Files because I wouldn't say I'm a big fan of conspiracy theories, because I believe a lot of conspiracy theories are super harmful and dangerous to society. Not to say that being a free thinker and thinking outside of the system or whatever is inherently bad. I don't. I believe it's good. But I do believe that theories have been leading people to dangerous rabbit holes and doing crazy things, maybe out of mental illness or paranoia or mass hysteria. But I do believe that conspiracy theories can be very entertaining and very fun, as long as you're mature about it and you don't take it too seriously. Because at the end of the day, it's really all pretend for the most part. They're just really fun hypotheticals. I think that's the best way to put it. And X-Files really does have a lot of fun hypotheticals about aliens and about ghosts, or maybe about both, which is super interesting. While also having great writing. The characters are really lovely. I love Mulder and Scully. They have great chemistry, great performances. And I'm really excited to see where it goes. I'm still on the first season because I'm watching another show right now. I'm watching the Doctor Who. I'm watching the reboot or whatever. Well, I don't know much about Doctor Who when I first started it, which may have been a mistake on my part. But I know it started from the 60s, but I'm on the modern version of the show when I started in the early 2000s with I think it's 8th Doctor, 9th, something like that. the buzz cut guy with like the leather jacket, and that's been interesting. I'm only like 2 or 3 episodes in right now, but I do enjoy it. It's definitely an acquired taste. The writing's a little peculiar, the comedy's a little all over the place, but I do think it'll get its footing as I go down. But I do like it because it mixes some history and sci-fi, both of which I do enjoy to some extent. I really do love both for different reasons, and I think that combination of both at the same time is super interesting to me. A lot of fun hypotheticals and conspiracy theories like X-Files. I guess I was in a bit of a sci-fi mood when I decided to watch these. I gotta switch it up a little bit. I still need to finish the Bear. That's not sci-fi. Unless in like season 3, fucking Carmi goes into the TARDIS or something, time travels to find out the invention of the hamburger, and that gives him like an anxiety attack. I don't know. But yeah, no, I've been having a decent time with them. But I've been trying to take a break from movies and decided to watch something more casual like them. And I'll get into that later. But let's see. The main important thing, one of the main reasons I wanted to make this video was because not only did I watch movies and some television shows, but I've been really loving this trilogy right now. I beat this trilogy. Let me move up a bit. I beat this trilogy of video games from the PS1 to the PS2. Even though it's technically a tetralogy. I think most people consider it a tetralogy. But I played the first 3 games, and with all the clues you may or may not know, but the thumbnail should be kind of fucking obvious. I started playing Silent Hill, which is a huge deal for me, because I've been meaning to play Silent Hill for such a long time. Like years, maybe not close to a decade, but almost. Like, for such a long time, maybe like half a decade, 5 years, I really wanted to play Silent Hill, specifically Silent Hill 2. I never played on any of the original games, but I did watch the first 2 movies. The first one is a decent, campy horror movie. The second one is not good. Moist Critical actually did a video about it again recently, which made me want to check them out again soon. I haven't, but I'm looking forward to it. I have the DVD in my room over there. It's super interesting. Because you may not know this, but Silent Hill is hugely inspired by David Lynch. Like, it's not even subtle. The developers themselves have openly stated that the series as a whole is heavily inspired by Twin Peaks, like the 3rd, 4th time I've mentioned that show today. But also Blue Velvet and Eraserhead, which is awesome because I love all those things. And Japan, Silent Hill is developed by Konami, which is a Japanese studio, Japanese company. But yes, Team Silent is Japanese, and Japan loves Twin Peaks, loves David Lynch, which is amazing. And you can definitely see that influence, which just made me want to play it even more. But the main issue was that, hey, I can't play these games anywhere. They're not on Steam. Is there any way to legally buy these games? I don't know. But somehow, I was able to play the first game on my PC through methods. Sorry, that was the wrong angle to do that because you couldn't see because of my hair. Let me try that again. So for some reason, I was able to play Silent Hill for the PlayStation 1 on my PC through some method. That's a wink, because I may or may not have done something illegal, and I may have done something illegal, but I won't tell you, and there's actually no proof that I have or haven't. But all I will say is that it's pretty easy to do, and so I played the first one for the PlayStation 1. One of the first, I think it's the first time I played an original PlayStation 1 survival horror game, which is a super niche milestone, but I finally achieved it. I'm a huge Resident Evil fan, so it's kind of surprising. But playing it with the original fixed angles and tank controls, it's challenging, it's difficult at times, but I love it all the same. It's super, super fun, super enjoyable. I love the aesthetic of Silent Hill. I love the tone of Silent Hill. I love the writing. I love the music. It's so good. It's beautiful. Akira Yamaoka, amazing. Masahiro Ito, one of the greatest artists of all time. That goes without saying. All right, he is like a master of horror, and he should be like on par with like Stephen King and Junji Ito. He is a horror legend, and he does not get enough praise. But yeah, no, the first one's fun. I had to look up a guide for all three because they're hard games. All right, these games were built different back then, and without right context, it's a little tricky. But yeah, no, I played it. I had a lot of fun. I loved the story. It was good. It was cool. I did not get the best ending. I got the second best ending in the first game. There are 4 endings. There's really good, there's bad, there's really bad. And the default ending, if you just play the game normally, is the really bad ending, which I think is funny. More games should do that. But yeah, no, I think the game is amazing, and I love it so much. But then I played the second one. And it's a masterpiece. It's one of my favorite games of all time. It might be in like my top 5, top 10, maybe even top 3, somewhere in there. I need to play it again. I've actually beaten it 3 times. I'm actually gonna try beating it for a 4th time pretty soon. Even considering speedrunning it. See how that goes. But no, it's amazing, alright? Silent Hill 2 gets that big visual bump. I was playing on the Enhanced Edition mod, which just gives it max resolution and frame rate performance updates, and it works flawlessly. It's so good. It was really good, but the story is just amazing. It's brutal, it's depressing, it's emotional, just like Twin Peaks. And there's so many themes of like trauma and guilt, a lot of like disturbing stuff about like sexual abuse and mental illness and bullying, and I think that's super compelling to me, because for a game released in like late 90s, early 2000s, it handles it with such a nuanced perspective and maturity that you would never see anywhere elsewhere, and you still don't really see that same level of maturity in video games these days. Most people just kind of either either just add these ideas without really talking about them. You just put it in there either just to be edgy or just to pretend to be mature without actually being mature. But I feel like Silent Hill really likes to explore the ideas and make a point about it at the end of the day, that we can relate to in the real world. And we don't see that often. But even outside of that, I think it's a scary-ass game, especially on your first playthrough. It's terrifying. The sound design's amazing. The monster design's great. The combat fucking sucks in the best way possible because it makes fighting people a nightmare to get through. But it's really good. It's really cool. It's perfect music. Might be my favorite video game soundtrack. No, not my favorite, but one of my favorites for sure. I think my favorite is probably Undertale, which is, well, it fucking sucks to say that, but it's true. Or Minecraft. But it's up there at the very least. It's hard to compare them. But yeah, no, I really love the music. I love the gameplay. I love all the characters. I think Maria is super interesting. Probably my favorite character. James Sunderland. Without going into spoilers, he's a dude. I like him. I like his character. I will say that much. I like his character. But then you have like Angela, who is super heartbreaking. Reminds me a lot of Laura Palmer. And then you also have Eddie, who was named after Eddie Murphy because he was going to be a comic relief character. But then the developers were like, no, fuck you. We're making this game even more depressing and miserable. And so they did that, and that was honestly really cool, and I love it. The voice acting for all the characters is a little funky at times, and that was not on purpose, but it works. It really fits the aesthetic, which I think Silent Hill is all about, aesthetic and depressing themes. And it's really good, though. I love it. I can beat the game in under an hour and a half now. I think my first playthrough was 6 hours, so I'll take that for what it's worth. But no, it's super cool because even on New Game Plus, you get so many different options. There are so many endings that you can only do by completing other endings. So I really like that, and I wish games could do that more often so we had a reason for actually replaying them again. But no, I don't know. Still, it's super interesting though, and I'm constantly thinking about that town. All right, in my restless dreams, I see that town, Silent Hill. But yeah, no, I love Silent Hill 2, and I think it's literally a work of art. It is timeless, and I would highly encourage anyone with a PC really, to play the game, or the Silent Hill 2 remake, which I have not played, unfortunately, but I would love to play it somewhere down the line in the future, even if that's not today or tomorrow. I've heard it's actually really good. I heard it's not completely faithful, and it kind of extends the game longer than it needs to be, but that's not an inherently bad thing. And I believe there are even more endings, which is why I really want to play it, because I'm going to go into it completely blind. I want to see what I can find, even if it's not much. But yeah, no, and then we're getting a remake of Silent Hill 1, which is super cool. But I think that the main reason I want a Silent Hill 1 remake is because we're not also getting, but if they do remake Silent Hill 1, then we are most likely getting a Silent Hill 3 remake. And I just beat Silent Hill 3 a couple of days ago, and I fucking love it. It's beautiful. I don't think I like it as much as 2, but I still really love it. So that just goes without saying that it's a great game. It's very different than 2, because 3 is more about it's more about the gameplay. It's about the horror, it's more about the tone, while Silent Hill 2 is more about the story and the writing and the performances and all that. Not to say that one is inherently better than the other, but my personal preference is Silent Hill 2's narrative is more important to me, at least. But Silent Hill 3 is great. The voice acting is significantly better. The writing sounds a little more human, which is very good, because you don't see that very often. But besides that, I did like it. It's pretty fun. It's a little harder than Silent Hill 2, I think. It's a little, not longer. I actually beat it on 4 hours compared to 2's 6 hours. But it's a little more intricate. It's more in depth and stuff like that. The riddles and puzzles are pretty cool. Maybe better than 2, I think. Yeah. And then there's a lot of fun Easter eggs in there, and a lot of nods to Silent Hill 2, but only if you have a save file to Silent Hill 2, which I think is really cool. But 3, just it's so good. There are so many cool secrets, so many different outfits, and there's 2 endings you could only get if you've already beaten the first ending, which is really sick. But you still have to do a bunch of other extra stuff that the game does not tell you anywhere else, which I think is really cool. But besides that, what else? I really like Heather Mason, the protagonist of Silent Hill 3. She's probably the most interesting protagonist out of the original trilogy, at the very least. She's kind of insane. She's kind of a diva in the best way possible. She's super cool though. And I really like her, and I hope that if they do remake 3, that they keep her kind of spunky personality and they're the same. But no, I think it's also great because it connects so much to the first one. Because Silent Hill 2, if you don't know this, Silent Hill 2 does not really connect to the first one at all. In fact, James, the main character of Silent Hill 2, there's a dialogue line he has when he's examining all these ritual books about the first game or whatever, and he's like, these books don't seem that important right now, which is a nod to don't worry too much about the lore for the first game. Silent Hill 2 was just its own separate story, which may be why I enjoy it more than 1 or 3. But 3 is pretty much a direct sequel to the first one, for a lot of reasons. But it's really cool. It's practically a remake or spiritual successor to the first one. It feels more like a Silent Hill 2, ironically enough. But it's super cool. A lot of neat little references and story beats that you won't understand if you haven't played the first game, which made playing the first one a lot more worth it than originally. But I really enjoyed 3, and I think 3 is super cool and super underrated. I think some people say 3 is one of the weaker games, and I don't think I agree with that personally. I think it may be one of the stronger games, and maybe on a couple more playthroughs, I might like it even more than 2. Because I do like the story for 3. It's just a little more surface level than 2, which isn't a bad thing, but it's just a big difference. But yeah, no, I love the games. I literally, when I started recording this podcast, I was actually beating Silent Hill 3 for my second time. I beat Silent Hill 2 3 times and Silent Hill 1 time, just because it's an older game and it's a little more unorthodox. But I think I'm gonna replay Silent Hill 2. I'm gonna get my fourth ending, and then after that, I'm gonna try to get my my third and fourth ending for Silent Hill 3, which may be a little hard, but I'm gonna try my best. But besides that, let's see. Let's talk about. I'm gonna be a little narcissistic for this last segment. I'm gonna talk about myself for a little bit, because I have a lot of projects in the work right now, or at least I'm trying to. But things have been tough lately. I don't know. Yeah, because I'm working on a few different projects. I'm trying to do both. One project for my Mr. Celtic channel, and then one project for my Cain Keltic channel on this channel. But with Mr. Celtic, I'm trying to work on. This is going to sound confusing. I'm working on the last Cain Keltic video for the Mr. Celtic channel. Trying to finish that little side project. Not even side project, one of my main projects. But it's been tough, because I feel like my biggest issue is that I'm not as confident in my art, in my work, I'm not confident in my quality overall on making something good, and I'm so paranoid of making something bad that I'm overthinking it, I think. And I'm trying not to make, well, I'm not trying to, but I'm ending up not making anything at all. I just keep scrapping every idea because I don't think it's as fleshed out as I want it to be. I don't think I'm talented enough to portray the ideas, all these different things in my life that I want to express, but I'm not able to. And I feel like I'm sort of stuck in my own purgatory right now. I feel like I'm trapped on where to go, which is really unfortunate to me. But I do think slowly but surely I'm closer to getting a final vision for it, but it won't be for a long time, which is unfortunate. But I think, if I give it enough time, it should be fleshed out, and it should be good. Hopefully, that is the idea. Is that if I gain the confidence to make something as personal and as complex as I want it to be, then it doesn't matter how long it takes. But yeah, no, I just need to be patient with myself, with my work. But I still need to put in some effort to really get something out of it. I've also been trying to make some more music. I love music. I'm not a very talented musician, but I'm not ashamed of making bad music compared to making bad film projects, really. I'm a lot less self-conscious about it. It's more about just impulsive feelings. Although impulsive feelings are really one of my main sort of ideas or strategies when making something. I'm all about impulse and just doing things on instinct instead of overthinking everything, because the second you overthink things, the worse they become. But naturally, your body, your mind, your subconscious or whatever, it knows what it's doing. You just need to let it do its own thing. And with my music, I believe that whatever it's doing, it's working. It's sort of therapeutic in that aspect. And I don't know. I really don't. But I love making music, and I love just doing what I love to do, which is simple, but I think those are words to live by. Love what you love to do. Don't hate things you enjoy. Shouldn't be that hard, but sometimes it is. And then what else? I'm also working on a video essay. It's a little more, it's nonfiction, it's video analysis. I'm comparing Twin Peaks to Neon Genesis Evangelion, because those are two very surreal shows from the 90s that tackle a lot of the same themes, and I have a very deep personal connection to both of them. And I think that I would love to talk about both and recommend the one show to the fan base of the other, which has been done before. There's another YouTuber, can't think of his name at the top of my head. He's also made a video about it that I haven't seen yet, but the idea is there. I just need to flesh it out. But I get so demotivated when I work on these projects, because I don't know. I just feel like I'm not putting in enough effort. I just keep comparing myself to these other YouTubers who have better editors than me, who have like more experience, more money, more budget to just do whatever the fuck they want. They're more creative, they're more talented than me. But so I need to really accept the fact that, you know, my videos may be kind of shit. You know, not to be so fucking blunt, but my videos may not be as good as the videos that I watch, but that just means that I have a high standard. But as long as I can make something, then that is better than doing nothing at all. I think even doing something is better than doing something. Doing something, even if it's bad, is better than doing nothing. There we go. Yeah. Because I have so many ideas that I want to do, so many ideas in the past that I really want to do, and I never did them. And I think those are my bigger mistakes than the videos that I have done that I'm not proud of, for one reason or another. But I'm trying, slowly but surely. I'm trying to really boost myself up, to get through it, to get through all my inner turmoils and troubles, and trying to make something good out of all this fucking chaos. But even if that's difficult, but what do I know? I don't know much. If you can get anything out of this episode, is that I don't get much out of it. But I think that's pretty much it. I'm going to continue watching those shows. I'm going to continue playing Silent Hill. I still need to play Silent Hill 4, so I'll do that eventually. Even if it's not as good as the first 3, I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to try to work on my videos, work on my projects, work on my art, try to be a little more confident in myself, and try to make something that not just I will enjoy, but my audience will enjoy. Even if that audience is just like 3 or 5 people, I think that's still worth putting in some effort for. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it, guys. Sorry for this laid back sort of depressing episode or whatever, but I just wanted to talk a little bit about myself, because I'm a little egotistical bastard. But I hope you enjoy me being egotistical. Next week we should be back to normal, and we'll talk about some films, we'll talk about some stuff I love, some stuff I don't love, and we'll get a little more upbeat tone, alright? We want some positivity, okay? With the world so fucking depressing, society so miserable, let's get some joy out of here. But yeah, no, if you like the video, like it. If you haven't subscribed yet for the 3rd episode in, consider subscribing if you want. And I'll talk to you guys very soon. Goodbye, and I'll see you all later.
Face off!